Porzingis Mavericks conversation is going to be an extensive one this offseason, given the lack of production that you saw in this series and already how folks are feeling about Porzingis in his time here already and not producing the way that folks feel that he's capable of. And then in this series, really being reduced to not much of anything in terms of his play on the court. So the question I pose to you is, in terms of finding a potential second co-star to Doncic, whose back and neck have been hurting this season because of how much he's had to carry this franchise, is the KP problem real for you as you kind of start to think about initially what this offseason could potentially look like for this Mavericks team?
Okay, here's the problem. You have a couple ways you can go. If you get somebody else who is more of a ball handler, you're going to what? Take the ball out of Luka's hand. Do you want that? KP's issue with this team is he doesn't move around. You have to work to get him the ball. And that's fine. That's fine. Like there are offenses out there where you can make that work. I don't know that it's going to work with this offense. I don't know. I don't know that it is. I envision KP being great in the old Spurs offense with Duncan and Parker and Ginobili, where they had great ball movement. Like I think he would be fantastic in that. In this, I don't know. Where it's such an ISO offense, where it's just Luka, and then, in order for him to get the ball, Luka has to drive and then kick. Because KP doesn't move around enough to have ball movement swings around. He's not gonna sit there and run baseline to baseline like Reggie Miller would, to go around screens and get open. That's not his game.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's gonna work here. I don't know. I think it can work for him somewhere. I don't know with this offense if it's going to.
Yeah, I think part of the problem is in this series particularly, this was a bad matchup for Porzingis, especially when the Clippers decided to go small ball in this series. It effectively took Porzingis out. And at times, Porzingis can mentally take himself out of games when he's not engaged, when he's not necessarily getting touches on the offensive end. I think he did a better job as the series went on of trying to stay engaged on both ends of the floor, because as you saw as the last couple of games were playing themselves out, he started moving and cutting to the rim a lot better, trying to make plays without the basketball. And on the defensive end, especially, as the series went on, he got better defensively, as you saw, especially during the later parts of this series. But at the same time, the amount of effort that you have to put into getting KP involved on the offense can be taxing on this team, given how much Luka Doncic dominates the basketball in terms of time of possession, usage rate, and those kinds of things. The Mavericks are going to have to real question this offseason about how they utilize Kristaps Porzingis going forward. But again, I think more of this was due to the matchup that they had against the Los Angeles Clippers and the adjustment that they made to basically make him a 7'3" wing and have him camping out on the three-point line where he wasn't effective. And the kinds of touches that you were trying to give to him, they weren't going to be effective for this offense, given what Luka Doncic was doing from a ball handling standpoint.
Yeah, because last year in the bubble, like in the 3 games he played, he was. Porzingis was very, very good.
Yeah, he was terrific in the series against Clippers last year.
If they had that Porzingis this year, they win the series. But I don't know what. Like I don't believe players. I don't really believe in regression at 24 years old. I don't really believe in that. I believe in injuries.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in regression.
And he ended this season healthy, which is obviously one of the big question marks for him going forward. Can he continue to finish seasons healthy and play more and more games, which we know that has been one of his biggest, drawbacks as a player, given his skill set, but his inability to remain healthy.
Yeah, and maybe that is good for next year because he wasn't healthy coming into this year.
Right.
So, who knows? But they do need to figure something out, and they need to figure out how to make an offense. You don't have to make an offense for Luka. Luka Doncic will work in any offense, but they have to make an offense that will allow KP to shine. And I just don't think this offense that they have right now will do it. Now, however they have to do it, because they're stuck with him. He ain't going anywhere unless they trade him for 40 cents on the dollar, which I wouldn't. So they're stuck with him. So they got to find an offense that works for him. And what works for him is not, having him just kind of sit on the wing and not move, because that's basically what he is. He's a 3-point threat who can sometimes cut to the hoop. That's it.